Magnum, Yoghurt and Raspberry. I was recently in Dusseldorf in Germany. It's very nice. You can swim in the Rhine. You can look at this tower. Ice cream wise, I've came across this, I guess like a statue tribute to Mr. Whippy ice cream. So that was a good sign, a town that respects ice cream. Whenever I see Mr. Whippy, I always think of Thatcher, because there's that rumour, must be an urban myth, isn't it, that she invented Mr. Whippy, and that Norman Lamont did the first Viennetta. The other thing about Dusseldorf is it's quite stag-do-y. This is the bit I didn't like so much. There's a lot of sort of customised t-shirts. All that said, a big shout out though to Sam, Villy, Brongan, Immus, Dreppy, Frank, Steiny, Jaff, Marek, Men, Tomei, Mullers, Melko, Max, Pavel, Sil, Vic S, Vic B, and of course, Schnauts. Unlike these big groups of men, I went to Dusseldorf on my own. I quite like a little holiday on my own. It's enjoyable. Of course, sometimes you think, oh God, if only Schnauts were here. But most of the time I'm perfectly happy. But it does put you sometimes in a bit of a philosophical kind of mood. Middle age catches up with you fast. I'm going to be 39 years old this year, and I can feel it knocking on the door. There are certain kind of physical things you notice, like my eyebrows have started getting really long, and I can't really drink as much as I used to. I get more of a hangover and it's not very nice. And also, I've come all the way to Germany to look at a train. And not just any train. I was here to see the Schwebebahn, which isn't actually in Dusseldorf, it's in another town called Wuppertal. And the Schwebebahn is a suspension railway. What's a suspension railway, I hear you ask? It's a form of elevated monorail. Anyway, as I said, it's not in Dusseldorf, so I walked to the train station for my trip to Wuppertal. They say that middle age is a state of mind. Although yesterday I walked too far and now my ankles are all stiff. And that's not a state of mind thing, is it? That's just shitty old ankles. This is Dusseldorf station, not very interesting. And then I arrived in Wuppertal. Look at that, there's a Primoc to write home about. And then I got my first glimpse of the railway. There it is, the Schwebebahn. And it kind of sent me full Francis Bourgeois. Oh yes, please. I can't wait to get on that train. Toot toot. Now, before we go and look at the train, there was something else I wanted to do whilst here in Germany, and that was to try any German-specific Magnum flavours that may exist. And there is one. There is one. The Yoghurt and Raspberry. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday, and I'd forgotten that on Sundays in Germany everything shuts apart from cafes. So there's no shops selling Magnums. But I think I saw a shop in the train station, so I'm going to pin all my hopes on that. One of the few things that is open is this kebab shop, which looks to be owned by former German international striker Lukas Podolski.
It's going to be Podolski. Oh, what a goal! Cologne take the lead! Lukas Podolski!
What a strike! Not even old Schnauzy could have got a hand to that one, and he's pretty proficient in front of the old onion bag, let me tell you! Right, so this is the train station where I thought I'd seen a shop selling Magnums, and by Jove I was correct. But did it have a Yoghurt and Raspberry? Okay. I'm ahead of myself here, but it's bottom left. There we go. There was one left. So, as you could just see, there was one raspberry and yoghurt Magnum in the shop, and it kind of self-disembarked onto the self-service checkout machine. It was already open, I didn't open it, it was already open. And I didn't feel I wanted to eat that one then. What then followed for me was a very tedious hour or so, pretty tedious for you to watch as well. Trip around all the kiosks in town. I worked out that the kiosks were open. They're kind of like corner shops. This was Lion's kiosk. Didn't have what I was after. Then I came across this street freezer. They had Magnums, as you can see, but not the right one. This kiosk promised so much, but was closed. The Herzog kiosk did not have any Magnums. Sorry about the bad impression there of Werner Herzog. This kiosk, I can't remember what this one was called, didn't have them. And this one similarly didn't have them. They simply didn't have any anywhere. It was so boring and annoying. Right. I've officially given up on trying to find a raspberry and yogurt Magnum. Watching this back now, it's genuinely pathetic how annoyed I am that I can't find a specific kind of Magnum. The inventor of the Schweberbahn was a German man called Eugen Langen. And he came up with it, and then he offered it to the big cities like Berlin and Munich, and they said no, on the basis that it was more of a Shelbyville kind of idea. And then this small place, Wuppertal, decided they'd have it. It was a bloody good idea. So it was time to get on the Schweberbahn. The Schweberbahn opened in 1901, so it's kind of old-fashioned, but also futuristic. It's kind of... is it steampunk? I don't really know what steampunk is, but maybe it is. You know, they're sort of like goths. Do you know what I mean? They're sort of like goths, but with like a metal eye. Right, I've got off the Schweberbahn, and I'm at the end of the line in a place called Vollwinkel, I think. And I'm wondering if they might have Magnums here somewhere. Mainly it's just people shouting at each other. Pinning my hopes here on Kiosk Vollwinkel. Oh, it's not Vol. Kiosk Vollwinkel? Let's see. Didn't have it in Kiosk Vollwinkel. To be honest, I was beginning to question what I was doing. I mean, I could have been back in Dusseldorf hanging out with Schnauzi and the lads. But I had one last idea. I've come to the train station at Vollwinkel for the normal train, the kind of not upside down one. And my thinking is that the only other Magnum Yoghurt and Raspberry I've seen today was that one that was in the train station in Wuppertal. And so maybe they've got the contract. You know what I mean? So this is my last chance. I think if it isn't here, I think I'm giving up. Hopefully there might be one in here. Let's have a look. Hello. Hello. Just that, please.
Gut gespielt. Podolski! Nein! Das glaube ich nicht! Das glaube ich nicht! Sensationell! Ein wunderbarer Treffer!
Right, I'm going to make this quick. I had thought I might do this on the Schweberbahn, but it's quite busy and that would be embarrassing and obnoxious. I am, after all, nearly 39. So, here we go. Yogurt and raspberry. Yogurt, kind of one of my staple foods, really. Kind of my equivalent of rice or pasta in various world cuisines. And then, of course, raspberry, the winter strawberry. Okay, here goes. Oh, hello. So, my review, it's really good. There's not much to say really apart from the fact that it's got that very slight yogurty tang, but not too hard. The raspberry is like a lovely sort of background flavour. It's not too sharp, but again, it's not too sweet. It's just all perfectly balanced. It's probably one of my favourite ever Magnums. Is it my favourite ever Magnum? I'm going to have to think about that, but I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Do I mean that in hindsight? Maybe an 8. Anyway, I got back on the train and I got the coveted seat by the window at the back. The kind of reverse you're driving the train kind of spot. Look at that. Train's 10 out of 10. No question. Is it the best train I've ever been on? I think it is the best train I've ever been on. They've kind of ruined the river to do it. But fair enough. Oh, and then some kids got on and I had to move. Well, I felt like I had to move from that spot because it feels like you should let kids sit there. And I smiled, but inside I was livid. Anyway, there we go. back to Dusseldorf. See what Schnauz's up to.